Hi everyone, so today I created a get ready with me video. I'm going to be using the Cetaphil Daily Moisturizer. I use this every day before I put my makeup on and at nighttime. So next I'm going to be using this Corrective Color Conceal. It's orange and orange helps get rid of any dark circles just because it's blue and orange corrects that. So basically I just apply it underneath my eyes. I try not to go beyond that just because I'm not correcting my white skin. So I apply a good amount, not too much, but then I'm going to be using my MAC Fix Plus spray. I do have a pigment inside, that's why it's that color, but I sprayed my Beauty Blender and then I blend out the concealer. I tried it with the brush at first, but I didn't really like the way that looked, so the Beauty Blender is what blends it the best. Now I'm going to be using the MAC Matchmaster foundation. I'm going to be using that also with the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea foundation. I like to blend both of them together. I used a few drops of the Tarte one and then 2 pumps of the MAC one. And basically what I do is I just mix them both on my hand. You can mix them on a tray if that's easier for you. And then I just blend them with my fingers and I put the excess on my face. I'm going to be using a stippling brush to blend this out. Anything works. I'm also going to be using the Beauty Blender and I use the excess of the foundation that's on my hand and I'm going to be using that on top of my face as well. Always make sure you get your ears or down your neck. Right now I'm wearing a self-tanner, so that's why it's a little bit blotchy. So always make sure you blend it down just to make sure you're all one skin tone. Next, I'm using the Clinique Beyond Perfecting Foundation. I mix that with the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea Concealer. The reason why I mix them is because it's like the perfect color for my skin tone. Also, just the consistency of both of them mix very well together. So I put it on the high points of my face and I use mostly the Beyond Perfecting Concealer and a dot of the other concealer. And I always use a Beauty Blender to blend it. After I do that, I'm using this powder to set underneath my eyes and the rest of the face where I highlighted. I don't know the name of it. You could use any setting powder. And usually what I do is I just put a good amount, but I blend it into my skin. I don't really like to have it sitting on my face too long like some other YouTubers do. I just feel like that just makes it very cakey. So I like to blend it right in. Next, I'm using the NYX highlighting and contouring palette. I'm going to mix those 3 shades together, and this is what I'm going to be using to highlight my face. I'm going to start on the lids, and then I'm going to work my way just on the points where I highlighted. Now I'm going to be using that shade for my contouring, and you guys are going to see that when I contour, I like to use the shades that I want to point out, but I like to do them one at a time. I don't like to mix them all at once just because sometimes I don't really like how mucky it could look, so I like to start it off with one and then I work my way up. So that's going to be the second shade, and now I go a little bit higher. So I start right under my cheekbones, and then I work my way up. This is just going to make it very blended. Now I'm going to be using that shade, which is going to be the darkest shade in the palette, and I'm just going to be focusing that right under my cheekbones. And this is where it's really going to look sculpted. So I put it under my cheekbones, on the high point of my face, anywhere that I really want to hide. So sides of the nose, underneath, and I kind of just make sure I always blend it out. Next I'm going to be using the Naked 3 palette. And this is going to be the palette I'm using for my eye makeup. So I'm going to start with that fourth shade right there. And I'm going to be applying this right into my crease. I do make sure it's very blended. I don't want any harsh lines. So I just focus this mainly on the crease. And gradually it's going to create a good transitioning shade for the other colors. Next, I'm going to be using that shade next to that gold tone, and I'm going to be applying this basically in the outer corners and inside my inner corners. Today, I'm going to be going for more of a halo look, and I like to usually start off with lighter shades, transitioning into darker shades, but whatever works for you, you could go dark to light, whatever is easier. I just find it easier to blend like this. I'm going to be going into the second shade all the way on the end, the gray color, and I'm going to be focusing this on the outer V as well. This is just transitioning to one of the darker shades. And I do blend this up into the crease and into my inner corner. And I apologize if you guys can hear any background noise. Right now the phone's ringing and my family's home, so you guys can probably hear them in the back. And the goal for this look is just to make sure it's very blended. So I'm going to be taking this blending brush by Mud Cosmetics and just blending this out. The next I'm going to go with the last shade in the palette. And this is where I'm going to be putting on the outer corner. This is going to be the dark shade. So focusing this all the way to the end and also going to be in the inner corner as well. You just want to make sure you gradually have like the colors transitioning into each other because you just don't want them to look like a big blob. So I'm just going to be applying this to the outer corner, and then I do bring it into my crease just a little bit, and I am winging it out just a tiny bit just because I don't want it to look too round. With my eyes, since they are hooded, it feels a little weird like that. So next I'm using this MAC Fix Plus, and I'm going to be going into that shade, and I'm going to be applying this onto my lid, and the reason why I'm wetting it is just so it has a little bit more of a metallic look. Then I'm going to be going into that shade, and I'm just applying it underneath my lash line. You don't really have to do this, it just depends on how smoky you want the look to be. Next I'm going to be using this mascara. It's my favorite. It's the Outrageous Mascara by Sephora. And I apply it to both of my lashes, and then I also do underneath as well. And then I'm going to be using the NYX Cream lipstick. I don't exactly know what color it is. I'll let you guys know in the down below. It was a little bit too light, so I'm using this Revlon lipstick and just applying it over it. Now I'm using the Fix Plus again, and this is just going to set my makeup. I do recommend to do this before you do the mascara, just because I felt like the mascara kind of dripped a little bit onto my lower, onto like my underneath of my eyes. And then for this highlight, it's the Tarte highlight that I usually use. I'm going to be applying this to where I normally highlight. I have been using the Anastasia highlighting palette by Nicole Guerrero, and it is one of my favorites. That was just in my car at that moment, so that's just what I had. And that's just me wiping off the black mascara. So this is the final look. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please make sure you comment below and let me know if you want any other videos. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.